Welcome to Dinar Daily, where truth meets trends, and every drop of oil can shift the balance of global power. Today's story is one that could reshape both geopolitics and global economics. America is changing the rules of the game in Iraq. A major strategic move is unfolding as the Trump administration appoints Savaya as the U.S. Special Envoy to Baghdad, replacing the traditional ambassador role with a businessman deeply rooted in finance and energy. This shift signals a bold, unconventional approach, one that merges foreign policy with profit strategy. The question is, could this be the moment where U.S. influence in Iraq transforms from diplomatic control to economic command? The appointment of Savaya represents far more than a personnel change. It's a direct reflection of Donald Trump's long-held belief that diplomacy and business can operate hand in hand. Instead of traditional statecraft, this is corporate geopolitics, a new model of engagement where investment replaces negotiation tables and business contracts replace political treaties. According to economic analysts, Washington's move aims to transform its foreign policy into a profitable investment platform. Iraq, rich in oil and strategically positioned in the Middle East, is now seen not just as an ally, but as a potential pillar in a U.S.-led energy network. By appointing Savaya, a figure known more for his financial acumen than diplomatic decorum, the administration is sending a clear message. The U.S. wants a more hands-on role in Iraq's oil-driven future. This aligns closely with Trump's energy dominance doctrine, a philosophy that sees energy not just as a resource but as leverage. Iraq holds more than 145 billion barrels of proven oil reserves, making it one of the most resource-rich nations on Earth. Whoever influences Iraq's energy output also influences global oil pricing, and that means control over economic stability in both the East and the West. Analysts suggest that Savaya's appointment may mark the beginning of a new energy alignment, where the U.S. seeks to offset Chinese and Iranian influence by strengthening its financial and logistical presence in Iraq's oil fields. The strategy is clear. Instead of competing with foreign powers through military means, the U.S. intends to do so through investment and infrastructure control. Meanwhile, on the ground in Baghdad, things are also moving fast. Iraq's finance minister recently announced that discussions with the IMF, the World Bank, and the U.S. Treasury have resulted in a unified plan to support Iraq's monetary reform agenda for 2026. According to insider reports shared by the Dinar Daily community, international financial bodies are aligning with Iraq's goals to stabilize its currency, strengthen financial transparency, and integrate its systems with global standards. The long-term implication: Iraq's monetary reform, potentially including future dinar value adjustments, now has backing from the most powerful financial institutions in the world. But experts caution, such transformations are slow, and success will depend on Iraq's ability to maintain political stability and avoid corruption within its banking system. Alongside this monetary progress, Iraq's long-debated oil and gas law, HCL, is finally gaining traction. This law determines how oil revenues are distributed among the federal government, regions like Kurdistan, and local authorities. According to leading analysts such as MNT Goat, nearly 70% of the articles have already been agreed upon, signaling that Iraq is inching closer to resolving one of its most persistent internal disputes. Passing this law would not only ensure fairer revenue sharing, but also send a strong signal of economic maturity to foreign investors. In short, it's the missing puzzle piece before Iraq can unlock its full financial potential, and perhaps, as some speculate, even pave the way for a future currency revaluation or reinstatement. Still, as MarkZ pointed out during a Dinar Daily Intel Roundtable, the full HCL hasn't passed yet, but we're watching it closely. And that's a key statement. While progress is being made, the finish line hasn't been crossed. If passed, the oil and gas law would reshape Iraq's fiscal future, helping it move from dependency to self-sufficiency. It could unify Baghdad and the Kurdistan regional government under a shared economic framework, eliminating disputes that have hindered oil exports and foreign contracts. Moreover, such a move could bring massive international investment, boosting infrastructure, refining capabilities, and job creation. A stable energy policy often leads to a stronger currency, and in Iraq's case, that means increased confidence in the Iraqi dinar, IQD. As Iraq stabilizes its oil production and expands its export network, Foreign demand for its currency could rise gradually, potentially increasing the dinar's purchasing power in the long term. However, this transformation won't be without challenges. Iraq remains a complex environment, balancing between Western interests, regional powers like Iran, and internal political factions. The introduction of Savaya as the U.S. envoy could either accelerate the reform process by injecting a business mindset into policy execution, or create new friction with traditional diplomatic players who see this approach as too aggressive. Yet one thing is clear. The U.S. is no longer content to observe from the sidelines. It's stepping into Iraq's economic architecture with a profit-driven mission that could redefine how nations conduct diplomacy in the 21st century. Looking ahead, the MF-supported monetary reforms, the nearly completed oil and gas law, and the business-first diplomacy all point toward a period of accelerated transformation for Iraq. For dinar watchers, this may be one of the most consequential developments in years. While there's no official confirmation of a revaluation event or rate change, the foundation being built is precisely the kind needed for future currency reform. If Iraq successfully integrates these economic frameworks by 2026, it could emerge as a regional financial hub, attracting foreign capital and strengthening its dinar organically through economic growth rather than speculation. For now, investors and observers alike must stay grounded. Real progress in Iraq happens not overnight, but through coordinated policy, infrastructure investment, and international cooperation. Still, today's developments mark a turning point, one that ties oil, politics, and currency into a single high-stakes game. America's latest move under Trump's influence shows that Iraq's story is no longer just about recovery, it's about strategic dominance. Whether this results in a prosperous partnership or heightened tension remains to be seen. But one thing's certain, Iraq's next chapter will be written in barrels and balance sheets, not just ballots. As we close today's report, remember, this is Dinar Daily, your trusted source for deep, data-driven analysis on Iraq's economy, the dinar's journey, and the forces shaping global markets. Stay tuned, stay informed, and stay ahead, because in the world of oil and currency, tomorrow's fortune begins with today's awareness.